those of you who are here have all done the manifesto and the lesson 16 3 to 5 year goal, right? Visualization, paragraph. I know you turned yours in.
I was telling him about that last night.
I know you said yours is at home, right? But done.
Sure.
You said it was done, but you forgot it.
I did.
Or did you just say you forgot it? And you meant you forgot to do it. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, but that's okay. You have time. This week's homework is pretty easy. You'll have time to do it. Today we are zooming way out. We are going to be thinking beyond just our future self, beyond just our 3 to 5 year goal. We're going to talk about legacy. We're diving into the big stuff. And I want to talk first about a trap that most adults fall into. Tunnel vision. Does anybody know what tunnel vision is?
Yeah, but I've heard it.
It's where you can only see what's directly in front of you. You know, like when you're wearing a hoodie and you pull up the hood and you pull down the laces and you can all see like this much right in front of you? That's tunnel vision. Well, tunnel vision isn't always bad, but sometimes you need to focus on what's right in front of you. Like if you're taking a test, for example, you don't need to be thinking about your wedding day 5 to 10 years in the future, right? You need to be thinking about the answer to this next question that you're looking at, okay? You need to focus on what's in front of you sometimes. But the problem is, a lot of people live their whole lives with tunnel vision. They only think about today, maybe this week, maybe this month, if they're forward thinkers. But they react to whatever's right in front of them without ever asking, where am I actually going? It's like if you were to get into a car and just start driving aimlessly. Maybe you turn left because somebody else turned left. Maybe you turn right because there's traffic up ahead. You pull over because you see a cool restaurant, and after hours of driving, you look around and realize you don't even know where you are, and you have no idea where you were going in the first place. Most people do that with their actual whole lives. They make decisions based on what's immediately in front of them. Well, this job pays more, so I'm going to quit and go there. Well, this person asked me out, so I might as well date them. Well, this class is easier, so I should change my major. Without ever asking, does this choice move me toward the life I actually want to live? That's why we're thinking about big picture thinking today. Because when you know where you're going, when you can see the clear picture of your desired life, then the decisions you make today start to feel like they actually have a reason. Proverbs 29:18, which is not up there yet, was one of our anchor verses a while back, and it was, where there is no vision, the people perish. You guys remember that? Other translations say the people cast off restraint, or the people run wild. This is because without a vision, without seeing the big picture, you just wander aimlessly. You chase whatever feels good in the moment. But when you have vision, when you can see where God is calling you to go, suddenly you have direction. You have purpose. And you know what to say yes to and what to say no to, which is just as important. You're not just reacting to life. You're building it intentionally. So what exactly is big picture thinking? It's the ability to zoom out from where you are and see your life from a higher perspective. Stepping back from the daily grind and actually thinking and asking yourself, where am I headed? What really matters in the long run? What do I want my life to look like in 10, 20, 50 years? What do I want to be remembered for after that, after I'm gone? How do my choices today connect to my dreams for all of the tomorrows to come? Okay, this is really deep stuff, you guys, so hang in there. It's like, imagine you're hiking through a forest. Okay, I know some of us don't like hiking, but just play along. You've been there before. If you only look at your feet the entire hike, right? You won't trip. You'll see the rocks and the roots that you have to dodge, and that's good. That's important. But if that's all you look at, you might walk in circles for hours and never realizing you're going the wrong direction or not really getting anywhere at all. But if you look up to the path in front of you, maybe even climb up to a lookout point and see the whole forest, you can then suddenly see the whole trail, the destination you want to get to, and the best path to get you there. That's big picture thinking. Now, you still have to watch your feet, obviously. Your daily steps matter a lot. But you also need to look up and see where you're headed. Okay? Big picture thinking helps you in 4 main ways. Number 1, it gives you clarity. You stop wondering, what should I do? Because you can measure every decision against your bigger vision. Number 2 is it gives you motivation. And we've talked a lot about motivation and how it's fleeting. And sometimes you need an internal motivation, intrinsic motivation to keep you going. Well, your big picture can be your intrinsic thinking, your intrinsic motivation. When the daily grind gets hard, and it will, no matter what you decide to do with your life, it will get hard. You can remind yourself why you're doing it. You're not just surviving, you're building towards something meaningful. And 3, just like your clarity, it actually helps you avoid regret. Because if you only think short term, you might make choices that feel good right now, but mess up your whole future. Big picture thinking helps you choose wisely. And number 4, it actually helps you leave a legacy. Which is why I call these legacy goals. Because you're not just living for yourself and your lifetime. You are living with eternity in your mind and in your heart. Who remembers this? A couple of you have mentioned it. I had something very similar to this written on the board in lesson 4. We've worked a lot on your short-term goals. These are things that you should have 2 of at all times that you're working toward and building on. These are the quick wins that take just days to months. We've touched on long-term goals with your goal from lesson 16, the 3 to 5 year goal that you guys have been visualizing or will be visualizing. But today we are going to go straight to the top and think big picture. We're going to go to our legacy goals, and then we're going to work back down with detail, okay? So legacy goals are the dreams that extend beyond your active working years at least, okay? That starts at retirement and goes all the way into however far you can reach, okay? I say lifetime, it extends beyond your lifetime if you choose to let it, if you lead a meaningful life. These are the things that you want to accomplish from retirement all the way till after you're gone. These are things you want to be remembered for. Long-term goals are still about you, right? Something you're achieving for your lifetime. Graduate college, buy a house, run a marathon. These are things that you will do and experience while you're here. But legacy goals are about impact. They reflect who you have become throughout your life. They're about what you leave behind. They're about how your life touches other lives, sometimes long after you're gone. This is where things get eternal. And this is why I chose today's verse. Because God didn't just put you on this earth to exist, pay your bills, and die, okay? God put you here with eternity in your heart. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Eternity. Eternity is one of those concepts that's really hard for the human mind to comprehend. Just like God himself, we can't understand, how does something exist outside of things? outside of space, outside of time, but he placed eternity where he is, outside of time, inside our hearts. That is so powerful. So let me give you some examples of what legacy goals might look like, and then we'll dive into the actual project for today. Okay. So where graduate college is a great long-term goal to have, becoming a professor who influences thousands of students is a legacy goal, right? Because you're going to help others graduate college. Getting married is a great long-term goal, right? But building a marriage and a parenthood that models Christ's love for all future generations, that's a legacy. Starting a business is a fantastic long-term goal. But growing that business to provide for your family and your community for decades to come, that's legacy. Writing a book is a fantastic long-term goal that a lot of us have. But writing books that continue to inspire long after we are gone, that's a legacy. Getting healthy, long-term goal sometimes it's less than long-term, that's hopeful. But modeling healthy living for your kids and even your grandkids, which you guys will see one of my long-term legacy fitness goals, you guys are gonna laugh. That's legacy. You see the difference. Long-term goals are about completing something, and they're great and important. But if they're smart, they lead to your legacy goals that continue something. They outlive you. And here's the really cool part. When you define your legacy goals, when you start there, all of your other goals start to line up naturally. That's why we're starting our deep dives with the legacy section. Our next few lessons are going to go deep into these timelines, breaking these ones up into pieces. If you know what you want to be remembered by, or remembered for, say you want to be remembered as someone who always pointed to Jesus. Maybe you have a long-term goal of going on mission trips, right? And maybe you have a medium-term goal to join or start a small group, right? To build that foundation for your mission trips. And maybe you have a short-term goal to pray for the people around you. And maybe today and every day you set that short-term goal of pray for someone specific, right? Everything connects. Your legacy starts with the choices you make today. Okay? I want to go a little deeper into our verse, if we have time. Yeah, okay. He has set eternity in the human heart. It means that deep down, somewhere in your heart, God has planted the knowledge that you were made for more than this temporary life. You know there's something bigger. Have any of you guys ever felt restlessness and just like almost a feeling of hopelessness where you feel like, gosh, there's got to be more than this? Yeah, I think we've all felt that way, right? I know I definitely have. I went through a really dark time in my teenagehood where I thought there wasn't anything more. God proved me wrong. That restlessness, when you feel like there has to be more than this, that's eternity from inside your heart calling out to you, saying, hey, you're not living up to your potential. There is more than this. But you have to put in the work. God wired you to care about the things that last. That's why shallow, temporary stuff doesn't satisfy us for very long, right? That's why you want your life to mean something. That's why we strive for more. Psalm 78:4 tells us that we will not hide from their descendants. We will tell the next generations the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, his power, and the wonders he has done. This is talking about legacy. The psalmist is saying we're not going to keep this to ourselves. We're passing it on. We're making sure the next generation and the generations after that know about God's goodness. That's what legacy is. It's living in such a way that your life keeps pointing people to God even after you're gone. God willing, your grandkids will tell stories about you to their grandkids. Think about that. That's amazing. I love thinking about 100 years from now, I will be long gone. But if I play my cards right, her kids, my son's kids, they'll be telling their grandkids about their grandma and how cool she was and how she always spread the love of Jesus. I hope and I pray that they think about me as someone who believed that God's plans were always good, even if she didn't fully understand them in the moment. So when you think about your legacy goals today, don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to get a little emotional. It's hard to think this big, but it's in there. God put it in there. Think generationally. Think about what God might be leading you to do through your life that echoes into the next several generations. Okay? All right, time to get down to business. Over the next few weeks, we are going to be building out a complete life goal map for each of you. Now, this map is probably going to change. You guys have no idea where you're going to end up, but you certainly won't end up anywhere if you don't aim for anywhere.
Still wish it was bingo.
I know you wish it was bingo. She saw these and was like, is that bingo? Are we playing bingo? You wish. I'll just pass these out since there's only 4 of you today. All right.
You could look at it as a life bingo.
You could. You fill it in and you win. You win at life.
Free space.
Hey, you know what? One moment and you'll have your free space.
Sweet.
That's great. I didn't even think about that. All right. So today we're starting with this temporary one. We're actually going to make like a big, strong one later on in the class. But yes, that's the goal. This is a temporary one. It's on paper, so you can write on it with pencil and adjust it and learn how to use it. In a few weeks, we will create a much bigger, fancier version, poster board size, that is going to be dry erase, okay? Or wet erase. So you can use wet erase markers on your bigger, long-term goals up top and dry erase ones down at the bottom, so you're not constantly erasing the lower rungs there. Okay, let me show you how this works, and I'm actually going to give you guys a copy of my current real full life goal map. I'm being very vulnerable with y'all here. I just started filling this in yesterday, but taking notes from the stuff that I have for my goals. And if you'll look at my legacy goals, you'll see what I was talking about on fitness. I'm going to be a Spartan grandma. And I'm going to be one of the oldest ladies to ever complete an Ironman. That's a really big triathlon for anybody who doesn't know. It's like a marathon and 100 miles bike ride and several kilometer swim. It's big. All right. So,
Please define.
oh yes, I'm doing that this spring. I'm so excited. So in the columns, left to right, the top row there, you'll see your life areas. You remember these, right? The 6 F's. You got faith, family and friends, finances, fitness, fun, and fulfillment. Yes. So remember that these categories often overlap, so perfect division is not the goal here, just general categorization. And then you've got your timelines. Top row, what we're working on today, is legacy/someday. Okay, I call them my someday goals because they're not even in the visual picture yet. All right. The next 2 rows are long-term timelines. They're 10 years and in the next 5 years. The next 2 rows are the medium-term timelines, in the next 2 years and in the next year. And then the last few rows are short-term timelines. This quarter, which is 3 months, this month, this week, and today or daily. So if you look at the faith column, you might have something like legacy, be remembered as someone who pointed people to Jesus. And then 10 years could be go on multiple mission trips. 5 years, lead a small group. 2 years, complete a discipleship program. This year, read through the entire Bible, which I actually did last year.
I'm starting that one this year.
Nice.
Started January.
That's awesome. This quarter, memorize 1 verse per week. This month, invite a friend to church. This week, spend 10 minutes in prayer daily. And today, pray for one specific person. So you see how all that connects? The legacy goal at the top influences everything down, and vice versa. Your smaller goals at the bottom are the building blocks that lead up to your legacy. This map does a few things for you. Number one, it keeps you away from tunnel vision, like we talked about earlier. You can see your whole life on one page. That sure gives you clarity. Number two, it reveals where you might have gaps. I didn't realize I had
The gaps that I have.
I have a lot of gaps on fun, don't I? You can tell what I don't prioritize, right? So maybe you realize that you're really strong in your faith goals, but you have almost no fitness goals. Or you realize that you've got fitness goals, but nothing in finances. You have no plan for your financial security. This map will reveal that to you as you start filling things in. Number three, it helps you connect your goals. You can't really just throw random goals on here. Each one should logically lead to or from the next level in some way. And number four, it gives you a visual reminder. When you're tempted to waste your time or make bad decisions, helps you avoid that regret, right? You look at your map and remember what you're building toward. Today, we're just starting to fill this in, so don't stress about making it perfect. This is version 1.0. We're going to refine and expand on this over the next several weeks, okay? Don't put it away yet. It's time to dig into your legacy. Open your journals to your be, do, have lists. You're going to review your lists and mark your legacy items. So we need to pick a new symbol. You could pick a little crown or a star with a circle, maybe just a big letter L for legacy or lifetime, whatever you want. But make it different from the symbols you've used so far for short-term and long-term goals. I want you to take a couple of minutes and just skim through all three of your lists, be, do, have. As you read them, ask yourself, which of these could outlast me? Which of these would impact other people after I'm gone? Which of these things feel like they have the potential to be multi-generational instead of just temporary? And then mark anything that feels like a legacy goal. Things like be a godly parent. You're going to change your kid's life. Write a book that inspires people. That's going to last forever. Have a home that always feels welcome. Right? That's a legacy goal because it can be passed down generationally. Build a business that serves my community. Start a ministry that continues after I'm gone. Have a generational wealth saved up to bless my family. All right? Let's see. Okay, we're doing good. And if any of you are thinking, Coach Casey, I don't have anything to mark because I don't have any lifetime goals written down. I don't know what my legacy should be. That's okay. Ask yourself some different questions. Take a different approach to thinking about it. Ask yourself instead, and this is deep, what do I want people to say about me at my funeral? Okay, it's called the eulogy exercise, and it kind of sounds morbid, I know, but people do this in the self-improvement realm all the time when they're trying to figure out what the purpose of their life is. They'll ask themselves, they'll actually write a eulogy, kind of like we did with the Future Self Manifesto, pretending to be a different person, giving a eulogy at their funeral. Think about what they want to be remembered for. Okay.
I just realized one of my dues were already done. We went to go see for King Country a few months ago.
Nice. Awesome. Put a big old check mark on there. Give your brain that dopamine it deserves. You can also ask yourself, like I was talking about, what do I want my grandkids to say about me?
He was weird.
But fun. But fun. If I could only accomplish a few big things in my life, what would I want them to be? What kind of impact do I want to leave on this world? As you find your answers, write them down on your be, do, have lists and mark them.
check marks on my laptop.
Nice. That means you haven't looked through this list in a while.
It's been a minute.
All right, once you have all the things marked, pick at least 3 legacy goals that feel the most important to you.
Do I need to put another symbol by it?
Nope. Just once you've identified it, go ahead and write it in the correct column on your map, on your goal map, in that top row. So if it's a fitness, it would go right here. Fitness, legacy. Okay? If it's faith, faith, legacy in that very first box. You don't have to have one from each different area of life, although you will want to eventually fill it in across the whole board, like I have mostly done on mine. But for now, while we're doing this in class, just choose at least 3. Maybe you have 1 in faith and 2 different ones in finances, that's fine too. Or you could have 1 in each family, faith, fitness. That would work. That's fine. Just choose the ones that matter the most to you. Don't let limiting beliefs get in your way here. That's the hardest part of this exercise. Do you want one of these goal maps, Jocelyn? So you can be thinking about your big picture of life? Okay. And it's totally okay if these goals are vague, okay? These are not the ones that need to be SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. These are the big picture views, remember? You need the more detailed stuff the lower down you get, okay? Remember the hiking trail analogy. You don't have to have every single detail figured out when you're looking out at the big picture. So it's okay if they're vague. Go ahead and place them in the appropriate columns on your top row. And remember that they don't have to be sorted perfectly. Like I said before, I have going on family adventures in my fun column. That also has to do with family. I had more room in my fun column. I put them there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just general categorization. You don't have to worry about perfect wording either. Just get the main idea down. You can always refine it later if you want to. Hey, spelling doesn't matter, as long as you can sound it out. I will be sharing a picture of my sample goal map there too, in the group meet, so you guys can look at that for inspiration and examples. Because, you know, more than half the class is missing. Whenever you guys are ready, I'll tell you about that free space. I think Ben already figured it out. You guys remember that 3 to 5 year goal from lesson 16 that you guys have been visualizing? Go ahead and find the column that it fits into on your goal map and place it into the correct, your 3 to 5 year goal that you were visualizing, that you forgot about. You will put it in this row of whatever column it goes into. Okay.
You're gonna have to stop and think about how old you are.
Which row?
Yes. It happens more when you get older.
Which
That's gonna
row?
be every week.
Which row? And then you realize.
So it would go in the next 5 years goal because it's a 3 to 5 year.
Okay.
So if you were visualizing on, say, getting into your dream college for the next 5 years, that would go in probably fulfillment. Do you have any lifetime goals to add into your list?
I think I'm gonna restart the whole list.
Don't restart. Always add 2. Don't restart. Don't ever get rid of what you've written down. Remember that this is only the beginning. Over the next few weeks, we're going to fill in more and more of this map, but you've already started building your blueprint. Okay. And just so you know, y'all are doing something that most adults never do. And the few adults that do eventually do this, they usually do it way later in life, usually when they're approaching their legacy era, approaching retirement, and realizing, I've been walking around in circles my whole life. What have I done with the last 50 years? What have I built? Where am I going? What am I leaving behind? Many adults don't even realize that this kind of exercise exists until it's, I don't want to say it's too late, but man, it's way late. And then they have to cram into 20 or 30 years, which you guys now have a lifetime to do. Okay? This is powerful, powerful stuff. You guys started thinking about your legacy today, and now you can build backwards from the life you want to live, which is called reverse engineering a goal. I love doing that. Anytime I'm unsure about what my next short-term goal is in any category of life, I go straight to the legacy and go, okay, let's reverse engineer this. Always ends up with something, at least something, to guide me. Remember, if your destination is right there, and you start walking that way, you're still going to get closer, right? But if you start going like this, that's not going to get you closer. Aiming somewhere around there, if you know your destination is off in that direction, you'll get closer. And then reassessing the situation when you're now over here, and you realize, oh yeah, it's up there. That's a later lesson. And we will talk about reassessing and realigning with your goals in a few more weeks when you have a full goal map.
You have a general idea of where something is. It's much easier to find than if you just don't know.
Yeah. Or, you'll never hit a target that you don't actually identify as a target. If you don't aim for
Unless you just
anything.
have a really bad shot.
I mean, unless you have like a really lucky bad shot, yeah. But remember, Coach Casey doesn't really believe in luck. I believe in blessings. I believe in divine intervention sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a blessing in the moment. So you guys don't have to worry about filling in all of the rows. Just work on your legacy stuff. And if anything really jumps out, you can always add it into the other ones. And then in the coming weeks, we'll work on filling in the rest together. Okay? Most people drift through life reacting to whatever comes their way. But you guys are being intentional. You're thinking big and you're asking the hard questions now so that you can avoid regret later. And that piece of paper is not just homework. I brought some folders
5 minutes of food.
because teenage folder. Because I noticed that sometimes our pages have a tendency to get crinkled in our backpacks. And I want you guys to keep your handouts safe.
There's a lot of stuff in the background. Some of this stuff is still from my first year ago.
So we're clean that out.
I tried once.
I tried to mark it.
I just took out the stuff that I knew I was going to use again, and then
Left everything else.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it should be a monthly thing. I mean, it should be a weekly thing, but at least monthly. Goodness.
This
All right.
year has been the most strain I've ever put on my backpack.
Oh.
Just wait till senior year.
So for homework,
Our future girl.
number one, you guys are gonna finish deciding on and putting in your legacy goals, at least 3 across your goal map, okay? That's your number one thing. If you weren't able to finish at least 3 legacy goals onto your goal map, I want you to do that this week. Number 2, continue daily visualization of your 3 to 5 year goal from lesson 16, okay? You guys are practicing the actual practice of visualization, of seeing that future life. See it, feel it, smell it, believe it, okay? And then number 3, I want you guys to add 1 new visualization, just once this week, at some point. I want you to visualize one of your legacy goals in detail. Spend 1 to 2 minutes just seeing, feeling, hearing what your life looks like, the impact of your life. Don't just see yourself achieving it, but see the impact. See the people that your life touches. See how your faith, your choices, and your love ripples out into the world. See yourself at 80 years old looking back and feeling proud of this life that you've built. Okay? Now, optional extra credit work. If anybody wants to go deeper, try out actually writing a eulogy. Think about what someone who you touched throughout your life could say at your funeral when you're gone. Hopefully 80 years from now. Okay, don't write it as if it's tomorrow.
Man.
80 years from now, what would someone in your life at that point in time say about you? All right, so the other optional thing is to share your legacy goals with a parent, a mentor, or a trusted friend. Just ask them, hey, does this sound like somewhere I'm going? What do you think I should add? Right? Just getting an outside perspective can be revealing and fun. But again, don't let them write your story. Okay? That's it. Just keep building, keep visualizing, and keep praying. All right, I'm going to hand out the little recaps here so that everybody knows what is homework.